Hi guys, so for your Micheal Craig Martin digital edit, I'm going to show you two different ways in which you can do this. So the app we would suggest is using PowerPoint. Now I'm going to show you first, if you do not have PowerPoint, there is another way of you able to do your drawing, okay? So in the first lesson, you should have taken your pictures. Now you should have done different setups using different shoes. I used headphones, perfume, cameras. It could be any household appliances or anything that you own. You just had to take some pictures of those. So from there, I'm just going to show you. I'm going to go into my photos, and as you can see, I've got my pictures here. Now I'm just going to pick this one, and what you can do is, if you screenshot your image, okay, and then click on it in that bottom corner, you can see you've actually got some tools at the bottom, and they are pen tools, and you can change the size of them, you can change the colour, and then you'll be able to do your drawing on here, okay? Now I'm not going to do mine on this app, I'm actually going to do mine on PowerPoint, so I'm just going to click done for now. And that's just one way of you able to do your digital drawing. So you just need to screenshot the picture. Okay. Now the way we're going to do it, I'm going to go into PowerPoint. I'm just going to open up a blank presentation. First thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to delete any of these boxes. So I've got a nice blank page. And then I need to insert my picture. So if you go to insert, photos, and then it should come up with your picture gallery. So I'm just going to find the picture I want to use. So I'm just simply going to go for the single headphones for this one. Now I'm just going to resize it so it fits my whole page. Oh, accidentally got two there. So just going to resize it. Okay, and that is my picture. Now we're not asking you to draw it separately. What you can do, you can actually draw over the top of this. So I'm just going to pick my pen tool, and now his work is very vibrant, it's very block coloured, so you need to pick some colours that are going to work really well. So I'm actually going to do like a blue headset and maybe like an orangey yellow background, because they're quite contrasting colours. So if I start off with like a light blue colour, you can select more, so if you go down to more here, you've got like the full spectrum of colours, and if you click on any colour on the area, it then gives you this spectrum on the side here, as you can see, and then whatever you leave that on, you can see the little square at the top, that is the colour that you will end up using. Okay, so that's one way of finding different colours. You've also got the sizing tool here, so you can change the size of your pen, and then you can select your colour. So you can see my blue one is circled in red there. I've picked the largest pen size, and that's circled in red as well. And then you can start drawing. So you can use your finger to do this. If you've got a pencil, like one of the digital pencils, you can use one of them to do your drawing as well. But it should work for both. So I'm simply just going to colour my headset in. Now take your time with it. You want to try and be as neat as you can and fully block colour. You don't want to leave, so I don't want to leave any gaps between my colour there. I don't want to see any of the picture underneath. Okay, so I'm just quickly colouring it in. As I said, just take your time with it. Now, if you're struggling with any edges, you can change to a thinner pen. And all you need to do for that is click back on your pen and select the thin one. And this might just help to get some of your edges nice and neat. Now don't forget, when you are doing this, you want to take some screenshots of your actual work in as well, just so we can see the stages that you've taken. So you can take the screenshots of you changing your pen size, you can take screenshots of your stages of where you've put your colour, it can show us the colours that you picked, whether you chose your own, whether you just chose the ones that are already preset. So it's just about us seeing your actual process. And go, so that thinner pen there is working really nice, just so I can get a nice clean edge for my headset. So now I'm going to go onto the main head bit. So I'm just getting the main colour done first. As I said, he uses blocked, bright, vibrant colours. Think about your palette. Obviously, if I'm going to do my headset blue, I want a contrasting background, so that's why I said that using the yellow, it's going to help this blue headset to stand out a bit more. Now, if you make a slight mistake, so I'm just going to make one there, I've done a line by accident, all you need to do, you can just press the reverse button and it'll get rid of that mistake for you. If not, there is a rubber tool as well you can use. Or if you have done a line on here and you know your background's going to be in yellow, you can just draw over the top of it anyway. So I might just make my pen slightly bigger just to help me colour a bit faster. Sometimes it helps to use the bigger pen to do your block colouring and then using that thinner pen to do the outline. So some of my areas, they're not all the same size, so I am going to try and make sure that I get the different sections as well. I'm not just making it all one round circular shape. It's like I've got the connectors are slightly smaller than the actual headset. Okay, so just completing all of this side. Now what you may have noticed is I've actually left, so the sponge area on my actual headset, I'm going to do that in a different shade of blue, just so I've got the contrast between the actual plastic base and then that spongy area. So think about bits like that. If you've got different sections on any of your objects, how can you use maybe the same colour palette just to create a bit of detail and definition between the sections on your object. Okay, so I'm just going to do that top bit here. I'm going to change my pen size for this. So again, I could screenshot that just to show that I've changed the size of my pen. So it's just about taking your time, making sure you've blocked the whole thing. Okay, so I'm now going to go and pick a different colour. I'm going to go for like this darker blue, and I'm going to start doing the spongy areas. Again, I'm using that thinner pen brush just because it's a thinner area. It's giving me more control to get the outline accurate. Okay, then I can start working on this side. So I'm just going to make my pen a bit bigger again. So it's not a massive change in the colour, it's slightly darker in tone, but it's just creating that effect a little bit more. It's showing the difference between the different sections of my headset. I'm going to do a slightly darker blue for the inside of this side. Just want to try and get... Okay, so just finishing that section off now. And then I can go in and I'm going to go for that slightly darker navy tone. And that's what I'm going to colour the inside with. Now, just to create a bit more shape to it, I'm going to use a black afterwards and just add a few details. Okay, so that's like my main headset done. So what you can do from there, you can go and pick your contrasting colour and you can start to get your background coloured in. So I'm going to go for my biggest pen size for this. Now don't worry if you slightly come off the screen, because you can crop it down at the end. You can screenshot this and then crop it down. So I'm just going to be quite quick with my colouring around the edges, obviously taking my time when I get closer to the actual headset. Again, I'm not leaving any gaps, I'm fully block colouring. So this will work the same if you have screenshotted your image, so from taking your pictures from the previous lesson, you can use the pen tools as shown at the beginning of the video as well, and it'll do exactly the same as what we're doing here. And everyone should have that screenshotting option if you do not have PowerPoint. Again, if you don't have either of these options, you can use any drawing app that you like. We're just suggesting these ones. Okay, so obviously the closer I'm going to get to my headset, I'm going to want to change my pen size. Again, screenshotting any of that you've done as well, your stages, showing us changing your colours. So just taking your time. Now you can see there's a slight gap between the blue and the yellow, so I'm just going to use the yellow to try and minimise that line. Again, don't panic too much if you slightly go over it. You could always use the blue just to make your headset the right shape again. It's all about taking your time. Okay, so from there you can kind of see where I'm going. I just want to quickly show you how you can add some detail. So I've turned to black now and I've gone to my thinnest pen. So what you can do from there, you can start to add some details into it. Now you've got to be really careful when doing this, but this is probably the hardest section that you can do, which is when you add your black outline. Okay, and then I know I had some of these sections over here and they had like the little bolts in them. You could always refer back to your picture if you wanted to. You could always just click back and go back and look at your photograph, or have a second slide with the actual photograph on it. That could always be useful so you can see any of the details. Okay, so you can see that I'm just adding details with the black line. It just helps to finish it off so you haven't just got a block of colour. You could always do the full outline as well. Okay, So I'm just going to quickly show you one that I did earlier, show you the steps that I've done, show you how to present it. That slide will also be up on your classroom as well. So I'm quickly just going to show you. Okay. So here, oh, 1 second, clicked on the wrong one there, sorry. Okay. So this is what you did in your first lesson. So you did your title page and your written analysis. Should have done full contact sheet, labelling the pictures that work best, and there's a full demo video on that, so that should have been what you did in your first lesson. Then for your second one, so you will have done your digital drawing. We're looking for at least 2 if you can get 2 done. And here it's just showing you how you can then show your stages. So I've just screenshotted from my first one. So this was my final outcome from my first drawing. And I have shown every stage that I've done, so you can see the process of it and how it worked. And that's what we're looking for you guys to do. So you can see at the end, I finished it on the PowerPoint. It has got the rough edges. And then I just screenshotted that, cropped it down, and I've uploaded that as my final experiment. And the experiment I've done today will go on here. Okay. Then at the end of that, we're just looking for a reflection. What do you think went well? What would you maybe improve next time? So think about, would you maybe pick different colours? Would you maybe work on the outline? Would you maybe make sure that you've block coloured? It's all of them things that you need to be looking for. Okay, so that is what you need to do for this second lesson. You are looking at making 1 or 2 of these, hopefully 2. It's great to have more edits, gives you better grades, shows us that you're experimenting more. Use your own images to do it. And look forward to seeing your final outcomes. Okay, guys, see you later.